Well, the Dremel didn't work. You're gonna want to take the bash bar out of the bumper. It's 8 of these little push clips. They're really hard to take out. I used a flathead. I don't know if it's a special tool or not. And then there was a bolts here on either side, a little 8mm head. There might be more for y'all, but I think my car was in an accident in a previous life, so there could be more. I gave it a little test cut. I might go a little wider than the old cut just to make sure you have extra clearance. But that's the test cut right there. It cuts it like butter, but it is so loud. I'm gonna have to get some earplugs, but I'll come back and finish it. I just got a cheap Ryobi jigsaw. I got these blades for cutting metal. I think the metal is about a 1/4 inch thick, so make sure you get some for thick metal. Keep it on a low speed and put some cutting oil, just a little bit on the blades. It'll help from overheating and causing any other kind of damage. Yeah, definitely the jigsaw with metal blades. That cut like butter. I had to make a cut like here, and then come over an inch, make a cut here, and then go across. That made it really easy. Otherwise, I was hitting the little bumps here. So definitely give yourself a little gap here and here, and then you can start going all the way across. Okay, I got the first hose on. I can already tell it's going to be a nightmare. But first, I put the bumper back on, the plastic part of the bumper. I got my grill's falling out. I need to maybe even leave it out and just let the intercooler be exposed and go full of ricer. But these little push pins here, there's 8 of them. They are a pain in the ass to get out. Getting them in wasn't too bad once you got it lined up. Once you got the aluminum part lined up with the plastic part, all you gotta do is just line them up and then tap them in lightly with a rubber hammer or something. And then that's it. That's pretty easy. For the first hose, it says that's the supercharger discharge after it gets compressed and pressured up. The instructions say you have to turn it towards the ground so that it'll come out here and it'll go past the power steering pump and into the intercooler inlet. And that's what that pipe's for. But this first hose, I had this coolant line here, and they're just clipped into the frame, so you can pop them out. I had to push this side down and pull this side up, and that gave me just enough room. I came with the elbow. I came in from this side, and I started, working it on there. It actually goes on pretty easy, and then make sure you have the hose clamp on there, and make sure the hose clamp's facing this way, so you can get to it. Work it all the way up. I tried to get it flush with that little lip, and then tighten it down. I haven't tightened mine down all the way yet because I'm probably going to have to adjust it for that other pipe. But that's how you get the first hose on. I had to try it a few times. I was pretty skeptical. Even right now, you can see that the hole isn't actually round because it's sitting on the frame rail. It's kind of oblong. So hopefully, when I get the pipe in there and the hose clamp on there, it rounds itself out a little bit. But yeah, I'm pretty skeptical trying to put it in. I tried every which way with the coolant line and whatever, but it just it was tough to get in. I'm really hoping that when I get the next hose on there, it stays round and stays sealed. All right, I gotta say this is pretty fucking terrible. So I got that elbow on a while ago, and I started putting the belt on. I had problems with the space between the tensioner and the idler. The belt around the idler is getting in the way of me putting the belt around the tensioner. So I emailed them about that. Let's see what they say. I'm pretty sure it's routed right. I don't know, but I mean, it looks right to me. There's a chart on their site, and that seems to be the only way you can route it. So anyway, left it as it is, and then I moved on to the second hose that goes from the discharge elbow down to the intercooler. And the instructions said to put that elbow on first, and then come back and put the intercooler hose on. Well, surprise, surprise, the instructions sucked, and that didn't work for me. So I actually had to take that elbow back off, I came down, I put the bottom hose clamp, I just hung it right here for the elbow, and then this pipe I rammed all the way down the intercooler as far as I could. I came back up, and I stuck the elbow back on there, and I just really slowly worked this out and that in towards the elbow. It took me like 2 hours to get it lined up and inside. I don't even think right now that elbow is properly, or the pipe is properly in the elbow. So that's definitely a possible spot for a boost leak. This frame is just all up in the way. I actually had to move that coolant hose that I had up here last time. I actually had to take it out and push it down under the hose, and it helped a little bit, but it's still getting in the way. I mean, even right there, it's like all pinched up against between the frame and the pipe. So I don't know, but I got it in there eventually. It just I don't even know what I can do as far as tips, man. It's just a lot of playing with it. The other thing that kind of sucks is that the coolant drain right here is now blocked by this elbow, but I guess you'll have to get in there with, like, I don't know, some kind of wrench and just pop it open, let it drain all over your elbow. But yeah, that's hose number 2 done. I got a few more to go, so hopefully the rest of them are a little easier, but I can't say this is super promising.